I have three children. They are 22, 20, and 17 years old. So these are not abstract questions for me. These are existential questions for my family. And my answer to all of my children is, if you cannot get the job which you thought you would get 5 years ago because AI has taken it, then you are at the point of who watches the watchers. You are at the point of saying you an AI governance analyst. And I use AI sensibly. And there are times when I get gobbledygook hallucination back and I go, that's rubbish. But I go, okay, right, fine. That's a limitation of my tool. At that point, I now need to engage the Mark 1 human brain, the Mark 1 human eyeball. And you say, okay, I've got a great tool here. It's taken me from A to B, and I now need to go from B to C. That's the part where the 6% shrinks to the 2%. We hire less people to do that. The part where you say, I'm not on that 2%, but I need to do something else. That's the part where you say, I will look at the AI model, review how it's structured, review what its parameters and boundaries are to give the answer to the person that's doing the job. And that's why I see more, in effect, engineers coming in. And somebody turns around and say, AI is a box. It's a very powerful box. When it malfunctions, who is the person there that goes in and fixes it? And so if you're turning around to people and saying, okay, you're not going to get a job perhaps in the industry you want, but you can get a job in making sure the box works the way it should do, then that's the new career path. And that's a career path. When I rocked out of university, I finished my master's degree in 1996, nobody was going to hire somebody who says, I can make your AI box work better, apart from university. Yeah, nobody's going to do it. But now, if you want to walk into a company and a company says, excuse me, I'm trying to make AI work, but we can't. And somebody will says, don't worry, I know nothing about your business. You tell me what you want it to do, and I will make this AI box work for you. Then that's the future. That's the future career path. Making the tool work better. You then become an engineer.
Yes, but, even though there is this new opportunity that comes with AI, it still seems like, or at least my feeling is that the number of people required for that is going to be much smaller than the number of people that AI replaced, or the number of jobs that the AI replaced. So what do you think will happen on the global level with all of these people who aren't needed as much in companies if AI can do most of the job? Yes, some human intervention is still required. But what all of those people will do once AI is on the level where like 80 to 90% of the jobs is under its control?
Right. This is, and I hear the question you're asking here. So I'm part of Generation X. I was born in 1972, where, my parents are silent generation, born 1930s, late 30s, early 40s. We missed out the baby boomers when recovering from the post-Second World War. Generation Z, who are my children, this is the most populous generation that's ever been born on planet Earth. 2 billion people born. Generation Alpha will have even more. So the question is now you're asking is saying, it's what literally is what we call the jaws. The jaws is something's increasing, something's decreasing, and like, hang on a second, something's going to snap right here and now. So the question you're asking is, if you are facing an increasing global population and there's less high quality jobs available for them, what do they then do? And we're already seeing it now where the younger generation are saying, I want to work for myself. I want to generate my own business. I want to do this. I want to be working, as yourself, you're fully aware. So I want to carve out my own piece of income. So then you've then got a situation where you've got millions and millions and millions of people trying to say, I want to carve out my own business. Some will work, some will fail. And I think, as you know, in the majority of business, very few will succeed. The majority will fail. And then this majority that fails will then say, what do I do? And then you're faced working saying, well, either I'm going to do a 10-hour shift at 7 or in McDonald's or in Costa or wherever it's Starbucks you're going to do to make a basic living, because there's simply not enough clients going around to support millions of small businesses. So if I'm looking through it through a perspective of a North American / Western European perspective, initially there'll be a lot of very disappointed young people because they will neither get a job which they earn, nor will they start a business which they can prosper. Does that mean revolution? I don't know. But what it does mean is that at that point, parents and grandparents will normally step up to do some sort of intergenerational transfer of wealth to postpone the problem for yet another generation. And by that point, I don't know. I can look at my children, I can potentially look at my grandchildren, but the point is that the problem of Generation Z, potentially Generation Alpha, getting a decent job will be postponed by about 50 years because money will be transferred, normally by the property sector, via the stock market, to say, hold on a second, we can buy you a flat, we can give you a little bit of comfort, and then, and I hate to say this, we hope you marry well. And it's a terrible thing to say.